Alrighty then. Let's really put this system to the test and see if it holds up. This is probably fifth, maybe fifth video with trying out this system, and that's worked so far, as long as I do it correctly. But this is really pushing it to the limit. As you can see, I have a ton of stuff going on. I'm going to break all that down for you right about now. So what I have going is, hopefully you can hear me, the microphone. I won't be able to be directly next to it at all times, and I do have one window unit going because it's hot, so hopefully I'm audible. I'll try and speak loudly. So what we have here is a scenario from Albion Triumphant. This would be the Battle of Salamanca, of all things. And as you can see, there are a number of brigades, right? We can go here. I have the auto zoom off, so it's not going to zoom on it. But anyway, that amounts to, and I count down from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then these batteries can be assigned to any of the above 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And then I have each one numbered, each brigade numbered, 1 through 6, again corresponding to descending order. Same for the French, who have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brigades in play here. And that's what you're seeing here, all represented on the table. This that we'll be running through is the start of turn 3. And at this point, everybody will be in play. The British did not start with everyone in play at turn 1. They gained some on turn 2, and they'll gain their final brigade on turn 3, thus everybody being in play. Now, I'm still utilizing scraps from Battles of Napoleon, the Eagle and the Lion. That's ingrained into me. I know it, so I use it. But I am using the combat system, that is to say shooting and hand-to-hand from Black Powder. And then of course the activation initiative system is my own, that being the colored dice, etc. So we will run through as much of this as I feel like. At minimum, the first segment of turn 3. Hopefully I will run through the second segment as well. So let's just break down how this works. Again, I haven't tried this method with such a vast number of units in play. It's worked so far. I don't know why it wouldn't continue to work, but all is well. So, what do we have? Let's verify that. We should have, again, 8 blue chits, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, and 6 red chits, which we do. So that means 8, 19, 14 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm drawing these randomly. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I should probably have this table turned differently. But there's gives and takes if I turn it and head on the opposite side. I'm not in camera, not that that matters, but this is the best we're going to get right now. So I've got my dice. I roll my dice. And there we are. So let's set these up. It looks like we've got 4 red dice, which will all be used as, let's see, the British have 2 1st Brigade and 6th Brigade, because I only have 5 colors I cycle through, and if you have more than 5 brigades, you start over repeating colors. So I do have a 1st Brigade is red and 6th Brigade is red for the British, and then the same for the French 1st and 6th Brigade. So all 4 of those will be used nicely. Then we have 4 yellow dice, which I think only have 1 yellow in play, so 3 of those yellows are going to cause no, 2 yellows. So 2 of those yellows will cause units to have to roll to activate. We've got 3 greens, those should all get used. 2 blues, and then a purple. All of these should get used. You'll see what I mean. Alright, so there's our dice. Now we draw from our chit cup to see who we get first. And we get the French, that's fine with me. So what do the French want to do? This is the, again from Black Powder, first segment, so this is movement fire phase. Let's take the purple since there's only one. The purple is 4th Brigade. And that way the British won't be able to use it, so that's stingy. We'll put it here and here. Automatic activation because purple on purple, same color. There you go. That is 4th Brigade, which is right here. There in column. They need to move. Well, he could fire, I will argue. And he is in line. I think he's the one. No, he can fire, but he's going to formation change into line, so that'll be his move. This guy needs to move closer. That'll be the end of his move. He will remain in column after doing so. Again, I represent that by pulling one of these blocks back away, separating it from the others. And then artillery here. So we only have, I say only, we have 2 units that can fire here if I don't wreck everything with fumbly hands. Alright, there we go. We'll start here. This is, so we count down, right? That's 4th Brigade, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a large aligned battalion. So, French line infantry shooting is going to be 3 dice because it's large. They get a modifier. Check any other modifiers. Let's see, formation modifiers. No. Target, no. So it's instead of 4+, it'll be 3+. Or is it? Let's see, shooting hand to hand. 3, so 3+, and then 2+. Check one other thing here. Well, that's 4+. All right, so 3 drops to 3+ for a large unit, and that's going to be 2 hits. We'll roll saves, and they did not save either of those. I didn't get 6s, so they're not disordered. I fail to remember that every time. But we will mark this unit with, I've got a ton of these dice from Warlord, these little tiny dice. We'll mark the 2 hits on him. He has a stamina of, that's 2nd Brigade. That should be a line, just a regular Portuguese line battalion, and he'll have a stamina of, if I can find it, Portuguese line, stamina 3, so he's close to needing a break test but doesn't need one yet. That brings us to artillery. He's going to be 2 dice, 4+. Let me make sure there's no modifiers on him. Who is he firing at? That's a good question. He's firing right here. So, got 2 dice. Check the modifiers. Are we shooting at a column or a square? No. And no. Alright, so it's just 4+ on 2 dice. And we got 1 hit. See if they save that. They do not. So we'll give them a 1. Yellow dice represent disorder, and ignoring any numerical value, just the yellow die alone is all that matters. So that's the end of French 4th Brigade. Draw a chiz. That brings us to British. So what we're looking at is the least amount of colors, colored die-wise. There's only 2 blue, so we want to make sure we don't get screwed on blue. And just to make sure we could potentially screw the French, we'll take the highest numerical value, which is 6. We'll put the blue here. Blue on blue means he's good to go. And let's activate 2nd Brigade. Looks like everybody's in column except for him for some reason. I don't know why. We'll switch him to line. That'll be his move. Switch him to line. We'll move him up. Since if you're further than 4 inches out, you can't move closer than 4 inches to the enemy. That is a my rule. So that's as close as we will be able to get there. To this guy lagging behind, we'll move up right about here. And I'm forgetting what everybody's doing here. So this guy can fire, right? So we have this guy and the artillery that can fire. Similar situation. That is 2nd Brigade. Let's go back and see who that is. Portuguese line, I believe, yes. That is our Portuguese line. Who will fire with 3 dice. So I have the cuckoo clock there, which is going off right now. So enamored with that thing. Let's see, did we have any modifiers? No. We did get a 6 though, only 1 hit, which they should be able to save, and they don't. So he is disordered and takes 1 hit. And then our artillery is limbered, so that's not going to help anybody. I can unlimber it, which will be a thing, and then that'll be done. That'll be his action. So he won't be able to fire until next go round. Good enough. All right. Take these off because they're blinding me. If I wore these like I was supposed to, they wouldn't annoy me, but I'm still kind of in the adapting phase with this glasses thing. Another shit. The British shall go again. They'll take that last blue die. I don't think they won't, because we don't want the French to get it. And that goes... Is that the only blue we have? Got a 4 there. Yeah, that's the only blue we have. So hold on. Hold your fire. 6. Yeah, they don't get another. They only have 1 blue unit, so that doesn't help us. All right, let's go to green. We'll take, because this is the least. We'll take the 6 green. Put that here. Automatic activation. Green on green. I guess we could have stolen that blue die and done and passed or rolled. Well, what's the point of that? Alright, so let's put him in line. Straighten him up a bit. Let's put him in line. This is 3, yes. Got our lagging artillery here. He's actually gonna limber, or I'm sorry, unlimber. And this guy here, I'm gonna say he's gotta move. He's still too far away. So he'll have to move up to a little bit closer range there, that's 3, and then these two here will move. About here. Remembering they can't move closer than 4 inches. If they start to move outside of 4 inches. Which may sound weird, but that's what I'm doing. And then this guy here. There we go. That is 3rd Brigade's turn. Right there. More shits. British again, why not? We don't have 4th Brigade purple because it got stolen. We've got 2 reds though. Let's start siphoning them off. We'll take the 5 red here. Put that here. Not a lot we can do with this 6th Brigade. This is cavalry, dragoons, and I think a hussars. Because charges and melee happen in the 2nd segment. But if we wanted to change formation and wheel or move, in fact, these fellers are all out of command. He's not. I can argue these two are out of command. That could come into play at some point. Yet to be determined, but he is out of command. And even if I move this commander up close, he'll still be out of command, because if you start the turn out of command, you remain out of command the entire turn. So I guess I'll just move this guy here. What did I just say? 4 inches. So he'll go right there. And then he can charge in the melee phase, and then this guy, I don't know. Put him here. Seems like opportunity wasted for that unit, but that's where he's going. We'll set him right here. There's 6th Brigade's turn. As you can see, they have already, or maybe you cannot see, last turn the British charged. I should have rolled square for that. Charged here, pushed the French cavalry back. Charged here, they're locked. And either I forgot to do that, resolve that, or forgot to put the infantry in square. At the minimum, I forgot to put infantry in square, which needs to be determined. Either way, that's the end of the British 6th Brigade's turn. Now we get a French, and we'll steal that blue. Blue on blue, 2nd Brigade, right here. Auto activate, and they can move up to 2, but again, they won't be able to move closer than 1. Hopefully that makes sense. So that'll put him right here. Still in column. Look at that. 2. This is artillery way back here. It's crazy. And then here. And I'll put this guy here. Here. And this foot artillery is only going to move 1, which is a drag, but that's the best I can do. Way back here, and even a long shot, a literal long shot, he's not even within range, so sucks. Alright, that is wrong because that needs to go there. If the die, the way I do it, if the die is on the unit group commander's chit, brigade commander's chit, he did not make his activation. All fine and dandy now as the turn winds down, you start having to roll. So French again. Very nice. For now, I'll take the green 4. To there. And that is this little unit group 8 here. Horse artillery and 2 cavalry units. They're all going to move up 2. So one thing you may notice or realize or recognize is that at the beginning, the way the system works at the beginning of the turn, those that you want to move, do so, your most important units, because as the turn winds down, the pickings get slim as far as auto activations. You'll start having to roll. That's what we got there. He's good to go right there. So there's that. The next thing I want to try after this finishes is, again, remember this is an actual Napoleon's Triumph map. And this just happened randomly, but I was fiddling around with it. And the sections, you can't see it, but it is divided into sections. Really do average out to the 4-inch increments I've been using. So if I was to move one section, that would count for a single move. 2 sections, 2 moves. I'm going to try and abide by that, and then also utilize these modifiers as they appear, depending on the terrain, the topography. It could be a cavalry, an artillery penalty, or a non-entrance, unable to pass through it. So, and there's also a stacking number of units that are allowed within each section. I'm going to try and run through and adhere to all that stuff, which I'm actually looking forward to. That could be fun. If you're wondering why the British are so far pushed back, it's because they started a lot of those guys right on the baseline of the table, and the French started, as you can see, kind of a crescent. Especially up there, it pushed way far ahead, so it looks more severe than it is. It's just kind of how everybody started. French again, awesome. Am I pro-French? Yes, I am. So, who's next? We'll take the last green because no, the British only have one green. The next green doesn't come into play until, no. So it doesn't matter, but I'm going to take it anyway. And put him on the 3rd Brigade here, consisting of 4 battalions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 foot artillery. Everybody in column, ready to move. This guy would like to fire, but he's going to switch to line before he does, so he's done. This guy will have to move up before he can do anything. He's done. Same with this guy. Finished. And then our artillery can either move closer or just go ahead and let's move closer. No, I take that back. Yeah, let's move closer. If I didn't know if I wanted to unlimber or move up. Let's move up. And they're done. All right. Everybody in command. There. British. We've got red and yellow left. Let's go ahead and get the highest yellow, which is a 4. So now this 5th Brigade can roll up. They'll just move up to. We want to flood this gap here. There's a nice space here we want to fill in, just like crack sealer. So we'll go ahead and do that now. 5th Brigade moving up. This is their first activation of the game. They were not allowed to activate until turn 3. Wow, all these guys? That's a lot of guys. Right here. And here, we've still got 3 more here. It's 6 battalions in this brigade. Wow. More to go. Something like that. Now you could argue I should have went this way, but I disagree. We have this gap here that I want to, as I already said, fill in. So there. British move. French again. Who do we have? We have 2 reds, a blue, and a yellow. I'm going to use this yellow. I'll take that 3. I think that blue is screwed. He'll have to end up rolling. Yellow here. Unit 5, which consisting of this dude that I need to determine if he is in square. I'm going to go ahead and say he is. We're going to cheat. I didn't roll it. We're going to say he passed and formed square. My ultimate goal is to figure out how to abstract squares out of the game. I haven't quite decided how to do it. I would love to be able to. I know it's sans resultant rule set is able to do that. I don't have those rules to see how they did it. It's probably my least favorite thing in the Napoleonic Wars is having to deal with squares, forming them. It's just annoying. Almost as annoying as morale checks. Alright, so there was that. So what does that leave? We have 2 units that can't do anything because it's not melee phase. This is 5 here. 5. We do have a line and line and boom. Alright, so we're going to fire with this foot artillery straight ahead. It's going to be a 2 dice. Four plus. We got 1 hit, and does he save? He does not. So he takes another hit, which brings him from a 2 to a 3. That should mean he takes a break test. And I'll put it on his unit ID marker to help me remember that. Let me verify that. That is Unit 1. He is a small something. What are you? Unit 1. Small. Okay, I'm going to butcher this. Kakadori Battalion? Somebody leave a comment below and let me know what that is. Don't know what it is. Sounds like a bunch of Kakadori. We already have these guys in range, right? Let's fire here. At this guy who already has a hit. This is large, should be large French line battalion. So that's going to be dice. Really? Just 3? Just 3? How many dices? Just 3, but they are large. So instead of 4 plus, now it's 3 plus. And that's it. We got 1 hit. They saved that hit, so that's nothing. Another thing that I'm on the fence about is saves. I do understand, based on the system, why they are used. Otherwise, you could just completely light up units. But I find it annoying. Again, I prefer not using it or streamlining it, so it's abstracted out. Alright, so same thing. This should also be, and it is, 3 dice, 3 plus because they're large. Wow. Awesome. We rolled 3 ones. It's terrible. Screensaver's on, I don't want it on. Thank you. Alright, they're done. Another shit. It's 3 French and 2 British now. So that means there should be 6 dice, 5 dice left, and there are. French again, yay. Let's take care of this. Steal this 4 red and do our thing. 4th Brigade, where the hell are they? Why are you so far back? No, I'm sorry. 1st Brigade, okay, we're good. Let's just keep trucking. This is like inconvenient. Right here? Can I do that? No. I can do that though. That's as close as I can get with that guy. The French have really moved up quickly. To kind of corner the British. Backs against the wall. There, and then 2 more here. So it looks like British 5th Brigade and French 1st Brigade are going to slam into each other at some point. And here, interpenetration. Not what you think it is. Right there. We need this commander way up. Uppity up right there, huh? Does that help us? We go there, it does. Oh, good, okay. There's our French turn. That was 1st Brigade. 4 chits left. French again. We have 2 red and 2 yellow. What do we need? What do we need? There's another red we need. And a blue. We don't have a blue, if you remember, so we'll steal the red 3. Auto activation. That is 6th Brigade, who's all over the place here. I'm not sure what happened here. They shouldn't be that far back. I think that's a user error on my part. But more of the same, just trucking forward. Won't be able to move that close as much as I'd like to. Could argue I shouldn't move that close anyway to dragoons. But I'm doing it. There's 6. And then the rest of them should be good to just straight move. Let's do it this way. 6. And this way here. 6. Put him here. Command commander. That's what these are. Not just for representation. Those are actual commanders. Foot artillery. That's only going to be a 4-inch increment. And that really hurts having this artillery. Foot artillery have to move so slowly. It's painful. And I'm not using black powder rules for movement. Distances, ranges. There. And here. Again, I don't know what happened to these guys here. They shouldn't be this far back apart from the other half. But such is life. 3 chits left, 2 British, 1 French. Well, French shit could really mean problems for no. Not gonna happen. Alright. Purple 4. Who else? Red 1. Look at this thing got red. Take that red. Put him right there. Okay. What else? So like the last turn, it looks like it'll be 1. Actually, I think there were maybe more last turn, but there's going to be 1 for each side that will have to roll 1 brigade. Should be ample firing taking place here. Should be, yes, and yes. So lots of firing here. Let's start with this. That should be a tiny, this is 1st Brigade, tiny what? Tiny rifles unit. Just 3 dice, however. They're tiny, so it's just going to be 1. Sharpshooters, so they reroll misses, correct? Let me verify. Those of you watching out there screaming yes. Yes. Sharpshooters, reroll a single miss shot. Well, I only do 1 shot, so and they made it. 4+, do they save it? No! Rifle's coming through. That brings him from 1 to a 2, so he's probably 1 away from a break test. Next is a large, I think that's just large line infantry unit. Yep. 3 dice. We're going 4+, drops to 3+ because they're large. And we got a 1 hit, 1 stinking hit, which got saved. So they're done. So when it happens like that, 1 hit, 1 save, it just seems useless to even do. However, when you get like 6 hits and you save 4 of them, that makes sense. And then a small something or other. What are you? Small. That's the Cacadores battalion. Who fire with. It's a 4 dice. However, do they have special something? Cacadore? Caca. Steady line, reliable, elite 5+. Rifle. Good lord, look at all this stuff. Sharpshooter. Alright, we're going to have to pause and figure out what all this stuff means. Christ. Cargadores. Steady line. Yeah. Passes first break test. Okay. Sorry. Skirmish, reliable. What is reliable? So I don't care about that. What about rifle? What do we mean by that? Just says rifle. Is that a range thing that I need to pay attention to? I'm not seeing it. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. We roll 3 dice. Cacadores, or was it 4 dice? Small unit. Sorry this is taking so long. I want to make sure I get this as close as possible. So then it goes 5 plus. We got 6s. So there's 2 hits. Reroll on this. So we have a disorder here. And we have two saves to make. Made one of them. Failed the other. So he goes from a 2 to a 3. That should be his threshold. Again, not sure. I'll put that here. Next up, artillery, close range. That'll be 3 dice, 4 plus. That is foot artillery, 3 dice. 4 plus. 1 hit, a 6, so there's a disorder. Does he save it? Yes. So it's just disorder. Hopefully there'll be a lot of firing here. Disorder there. And then this filler, 2 left, is a regular. I think those are, that should be Portuguese line, I believe. First Portuguese line, yes. Portuguese line. You're looking at dice, 1 hit, no save. Good job, Portuguese. Brings him from a 1 to a 2. And finally, Highlanders. They should have all kinds of special rules, I'm sure. Let's see just what. Highlanders, 50 special rules. Tough fire, steady line, first fire. Go all this up. We'll play black powder often enough to know all of this off the top of my head. Hence looking it up. First fire. There he is. +1 on first shot. Well, this isn't their first shot, so that's out. Anything else? Highlanders. Tough fighters, probably hand to hand, yes. Reroll 1 again, okay. And then steady line. Alright, so it's just, when I say just, yep, just 3. They're much better hand to hand. 3 dice, 4 plus. Modifiers, no. And no. Give me something. 2 hits. No disorders. 1 hit, 1 save. So he goes from a 2 to a 3. So I think, and I will check this. Let's do 5 here. Half of these guys. This whole brigade's screwed because this one's stuck in square. I don't know if you can see this. This guy's stuck in square. I think he's going to need a break test. He'll need a break test. Which just leaves the artillery. This is large French line. Stamina should be 3. I don't know what that noise was. It sounded like a dying dinosaur. French, line, stamina 3. Yeah, so they're going to need to take a break test. 2 chits left. 1 French, 1 British, both yellow dice. Who do we got? We got the British. They're going to take the yellow because that's all they have. They'll take the highest numerical value, which is a 2. Puts him here. So we need to. This commander has a command value of what? This is 4th Brigade. Switch back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Translates to 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. He needs a 5 or less. Oh, he got a 5. He just got it. That die was spinning for a long time, but he got it. So, all these guys want to move. Let's start here. Go this way. Again, here's another question. Do I pull around this way? Which I think, no, definitely not. Let's go this way. Yep, we're good there. So if the French make their check, put him right behind, everybody will have made their command. And I've noticed that, and this is why I'm doing this, the more units you have in play, the more often you tend to make command. Pass activation, I'm trying to say. The fewer, say, I feel like the optimal number of units to use this system with is 7 plus or minus. I won't go into why or the math, but anything more than that, they tend to get their activation a little more often than if it was lesser number of units. That's it, 4s. Just move forward, that's it, that's all we're doing. Let's do that. And then the foot artillery puts him about right here. Boom. That puts him in 2 dice range of that unit. Okay. Final chit, French, yellow, number 1. I don't see this activation happening, so who's getting screwed? Looks like it's 7th Brigade is about to get screwed. Let's see what his command value is. 7th Brigade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is an 8. Not bad, not bad. Translates to a 4 plus 1 is 5 or less. 2 dice 6. 5 or less? Nope, 6. So 1 unit, segment 1, failed his activation. Now he gives another chance in segment 2 to try. If he fails that, essentially he will not be able to attack, change formation, wheel, charge, but he can defend, that is to say respond, when attacked in melee. So there's segment 1. How long did that take? Longer than I thought it would. I'm going to go ahead and call this. I'm going to eat lunch. Maybe we'll come back with segment 2. Maybe not. Maybe we'll have something completely different. But there is a stress test, if you will, to see how this Sagrada-esque activation initiative system held up. It holds up, but again, I feel like when you have this many units, based on the number of colors, they've got 5, and then they start repeating with the 6th unit. Again, you know, Probably 5 to 7 units per side, brigades per side would be optimal for this. Not that you can't, as I just demonstrated, not that you can't do this. And last, let's see, turn 2, I did have more, at least one, I think maybe 2 more units than this turn that did not, it failed activation, so this I guess was the most successful round as far as activations. Oh, I wrote down turn 3 segment 2 because that's what's next. Final thoughts, conclusions. We leave the die also for before we ease into segment 2, we leave the dice where they are, but we pull the chits. We don't draw on roll dice again unless you failed an activation until the beginning of turn 4. This is not something I would typically do as far as the amount of units. These black powder scenarios are notorious for being bulky as far as the number of stuff involved, and that's to their benefit. I mean, you don't have to, but there's a lot of people that feel like they do, and all that does mean you have to buy a little more plastic soldiers to adhere to the letter of the law when it comes to these scenarios. I don't feel obligated to do that. Some do. You should not be on there that I know of. Okay, is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's all the chits. Again, to reiterate, looking forward to, and I will definitely do this as well with a smaller amount of units, but adhering to the terrain, the topography, the spaces that are set up on the map. That will negate the need, not that it's a problem, but it's just something different. The need to use measuring sticks, you just count out 1 space for 1 move, 2 spaces for 2, 3 spaces for long range artillery. And this, not only is this beautiful, it is highly functional, obviously, because this is from a game that is meant to be played a certain way, but we have rivers we have to adhere to, mind rather, and elevation isn't accounted for in here, I don't believe, but a number of things are. It's going to be cool. The only other thing, and I just thought of this, let me see if I can find it. It's kind of a treat. I didn't have enough longevity in me to watch the entire thing, and I didn't know this existed until last night. It's one of those random finds on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, I'll try and post a link if I can remember. Nobody will see this because nobody watches the entirety of these videos. Channel 4 War Game, plug that in. It brings you to, actually I take that back, Channel 4 Game of War 1997. I need to write that down so I can find it again and plug that into the link below the video. This is your old British friends turning wargaming into a spectator sport with Angela Rippon doing her best to sound like she knows what she's talking about. I think the only reason I know Angela's name is from the band Crass. They make fun of her. So give that a look. I couldn't sit through the whole thing. I watched a little over half and just got bored. Such is life. We're this generation, the era that we live in, we're dumbed down to an attention span of about 15 minutes if we're lucky. But I'll post a link to that. All right, guys, please, as usual, post comments, questions, insights, whatever. I mean, that's how this works. It makes it more fun, more interesting. I'll let you go. That's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.